Speaking of parents, it's awesome to have parents who want to look out for you in life. If you have parents who are like that, then they'll probably want to look out for you when you're buying a house, beyond just giving you money toward the purchase. This applies to anyone, really, not just a parent. Maybe it's a friend you turn to for advice, or who offers you support and advice, whether you want it or not. One of the biggest problems buyers have, especially first-time and younger buyers, is having a loved one swoop in and squash their dream home. This isn't normally done intentionally, obviously. Let's say a buyer looks and sees tons of houses they don't like. Or maybe they lose out on houses they love because other buyers act more swiftly. Then they find one they love, and they're ready to make an offer. But first, I need to have my parents come take a look before I make an offer. In that moment, every real estate agent cringes and screams just a little bit inside. However, they'll usually just smile and hold it all inside as they say, "Of course, no problem." This is because they know deep down inside that there's gonna be a problem, probably more like 100 problems. The parents will find and create every single one of them, and they'll tell their loved one they should keep looking. Absolutely don't buy this house. You can do better than this. Can you believe how much they're asking? They'd be lucky to get half that. The place is a total teardown. This agent of yours showed you this piece of, sorry, got carried away. I was having a flashback. Anyhow, it's totally fine for parents, or anyone else, to chime in on your purchase. However, they should be involved from day one. And throughout the process, not just swoop in at the last minute and add their 2 cents without having seen everything you've seen and knowing what you and your agent know about the market at that point. You'll know what you want when you see it and that it's a good buy. They need to as well, by being with you throughout the process. Otherwise, they'll just end up causing you to lose out on great houses until they eventually see the light. Or until you get so frustrated by them that you don't invite them to see the house until you've closed on it and are hosting Thanksgiving. If they're still invited, ha! As seen on TV, you know what'd be an awesome real estate reality show? One that shows the buyer's parents swooping in at the last minute and convincing them not to buy their dream home. Not sure if I'd watch it though, because watching any real estate reality show as an agent can be pretty aggravating. Virtually every real estate show you see on TV paints a pretty picture. A pretty inaccurate one. Real estate agents know this because they live and breathe this business day in and day out. But for many buyers, it's like learning that professional wrestling isn't real, and that the wrestlers on TV are faking it. Although buyers kind of know that it can't be as simple as they see on TV, they're often still surprised at how different it is to actually look for and buy a home versus what is depicted on TV. Not that there's anything wrong with watching and enjoying those shows. They can be fun to watch. Just don't take any of it as a how-to because they're probably more of a how-not-to at times. The home buying process, as well as the housing market itself, vary greatly from one area of the country to another, and even on a regional level. That said, there's one thing that's pretty universal. No buyer ever went out and saw 3 houses, then went and had a drink and some appetizers because they had a lot to think about and talk over, and then came to a decision on which of the 3 houses was right for them. Oh, and then made an offer, got it accepted, closed and moved in, all without a hitch. That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works. So feel free to binge watch away, but always remember that what happens on TV stays on TV. Avoid these things. Going to open houses seems like an obvious and good way to start looking for a house to most people. I know. You're probably thinking, what's wrong with going to open houses? The answer is more than I'll get into in this section of this booklet. Lots more. So much more that I wrote an entire booklet about why you shouldn't go to open houses. It's called Beware, the Pitfalls of Attending Open Houses. If you want a copy of that booklet, just reach out and I'll be happy to give you a copy. But to nutshell it, going to open houses causes many buyers to make poor decisions, rash decisions, and costly mistakes that most buyers don't even realize were caused by going to open houses. You're probably wondering, so if they're that bad, why do agents even hold them? There are a handful of reasons. Most agents don't even realize the issues they cause. Many homeowners expect and demand that their agent hold them, even though they rarely result in the sale of the home. It's a good way for agents to meet potential buyer clients. Plenty of home buyers still go to them since they don't know any better. So why stop doing something that allows you to meet potential new clients? You're better off not going to them. But if you do, be prepared for agents to try and get you to buy the house, or at least work with them to find another house. It's what they're there to do. But keep your wits about you, and don't make any rash decisions. Bottom line, buyers who are on top of their game don't go to open houses. They view homes privately without the commotion of an open house, and they're able to take their time looking around and talking about the house with their agent. Also, they're usually going to see a house as soon as it hits the market, even in the middle of the week. Area, area, area. You've probably heard the old real estate adage, location, location, location. If not, it basically means that the most important factor in the value of real estate is location. You can have 3 exactly similar houses, all in entirely different locations, and the location will be what makes one worth more or less than the others. So yeah, location is important, and it'll affect the value of homes you consider, as well as the future value and appreciation of the property. Definitely keep that in mind. But for most people, the more important thing to concentrate on is area, area, area. Choosing the best area to live in should be given as much, if not more, consideration than the house you buy. You can always upgrade a house more easily than you can change the area you live in. What matters to you about an area will vary entirely from what matters to someone else. There is no right or wrong answer to this. It's more of a soul-searching kind of thing. So, what matters to you? Here are a few questions to get you started. Do you commute? If so, how long are you willing to drive? Do school rankings and reputations matter to you? Will they in the future? Do you want to live in an urban area, rural area, or something more in between those two ends of the spectrum? Once you have a decent handle on what you want, try to focus on the type of area you want to live in, more so than the house. It can be more tempting for first-time homebuyers to buy a nicer house in an area they don't love than to buy a house they don't love in an area they'd rather live in. That usually leads to someone being less happy than they expected. There's no guarantee, but a huge concern for any homeowner, not just first-time homebuyers, is they'll buy a house and something will go wrong with the house after they buy it. You know, like the roof leaks, the furnace or air conditioning stops running, a pipe bursts, or appliances break. This can be even more concerning to a first-time buyer since they've often tied up a larger percentage of their savings into the purchase of their house. It's a legitimate concern, so you'll want to hire a home inspector to do a thorough home inspection. He or she should catch anything that's an obvious problem, or one that will likely occur in the near future. However, an inspector can miss things. Things happen to houses even when someone has been super careful about looking for potential issues. There's no guarantee that something can't or won't happen to your home once you own it. However, there can be a warranty. Unexpected home repairs can be costly, putting someone in a tough spot. It's great if you're handy and can do things around the house, but some things require specialization and can still be costly in terms of materials and equipment, no matter who's doing the work. So, it can be a smart move to buy a home warranty. A home warranty will cover things that go wrong with your house. You'll have to pay a small fee, which varies from company to company and plan to plan, but let's call it $100 for our purposes here, to have someone come out and check on the problem. But that's it. If they can fix it, great. If not, they will replace it. You need to make sure you read through what the warranty covers when you're choosing one. Also, make sure to read reviews on the companies you are considering as well. They can all be a pain in the neck at times, so don't be surprised if you see some negative reviews. But if you have a legitimate claim and stick to your guns, you'll most likely get what you need fixed or replaced. Even if it's a bit of a struggle with the company, it's still better than if something huge breaks and you don't have the money to pay for it, or would have to part with money you didn't want to spend. Do not forget to watch part 3, the final episode,